In this issue of Age of Grace, End of Age, we want to touch on the issue of the rise of Christian persecution and a brief look at a man that underwent extreme persecution in the early part of the 20th century. And while it is true that Christians have been persecuted for now more than 2,000 years all around the world, what makes the Western world, specifically America, a hot topic in terms of persecution? While it's true that America has not experienced persecution as other countries, be it China, be it Africa, being most majority parts of Middle East, what makes America still having a situation with persecution, and why does it matter for such a country? Before we get to that matter, let's take a focused look at one particular individual, Richard Wurmbrand, who's tortured for being a Christian. Richard Wurmbrand was born March 24, 1909. He was a Roman evangelical Christian. 1948, he became a Christian 10 years before he publicly spoke to the Communist Party in that area at that time. And he made a profound statement, a statement that would indeed cost him. He stated that Christianity and communism were incompatible. And as a result of that, he experienced imprisonment, hunger, torture, death threats, and this lasted for 14 years or more. And this was all under the communist regime of Romania. And this is also based on his beliefs, not only as a minister, but a spokesman and somebody that resisted the communist ideology. After this was done, his colleagues urged him to leave the country. So he and his wife Sabrina, who also was in prison, went to Norway and England, and finally they immigrated to America and dedicated the rest of their lives to the topic of Christians who were persecuted for their beliefs. He also authored 18 books. One in general was called Torture for Christ. And I would highly recommend you guys, if you're able to watch Torture for Christ, it definitely opens the eye on what was going on, how there's comparison to what's going on now in terms of religious freedom and those that want to stifle the Christian voice. But one thing about Richard Wurmbrand, he was a man of faith. His faith was tested and tried, but he held on to his faith when there was nothing left. In these particular videos, it showed that even when he prayed, when he sung, when he talked to other people that were in prison, he was beaten. He was just beaten many times just because he proclaimed the name of the Lord. But like Paul the apostle, he understood that to live is Christ and to die is gain. So here's the question. What makes America the hot topic of this particular discussion? Well, America is the only country in the 20th and the 21st century to have freedoms that is protected by the Constitution, which of course is a shadow of the Ten Commandments. And this is everything from freedoms of religion, the press, liberty, and of course created in the image of God. And these are your basic areas that are protected and what truly matters. Also, America is one of the great leading countries that have done more to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. It has also been a friend of Israel as well as an ally. And that itself, they stand alone on for the most part. But of course, we see that these type of things are eroding away, and these things were definitely made known in the 1960s to present. No other country has what America has in terms of all these freedoms. And keep in mind that our Constitution is something that other countries do not have. They don't believe in a democracy or a republic. They believe in totalitarian. So that in itself separates America from anything else or any other country. But now the rise of persecution ultimately is targeted towards Christians, especially. Silencing a Christian, one of the ways that it's done is through the media. And eliminating the Christian and the conservative platform, which we obviously have seen, and also control the flow of information. In other words, information we want you to have and not what you have. So we have a real issue against truth, obviously. And we've seen this been done by our government officials, those that choose a path that is not of God, but more of a humanistic, anti-Christian one. And they have the aid and help of big media and big tech organization. And of course, the question again is, why is this happening? Simply put, because God said it would happen. And not only that, but these people serve and follow the prince of this world, that is Lucifer. Other ways that they do this is by calling Christian bigots and haters, narcissistic, homophobic. And of course, one of the other persecutions that they do and have done is consistently removing Bibles. They've obviously done that, and removing prayer from the schools and other locations, which has been done and is continuing to be done. And just to make a mockery of it, they've placed satanic statues in areas where the Ten Commandments and the Bible once were at. And of course, they force children of Christian parents to learn evolution and reject the idea of creation. And this, of course, is persecution. But we need to consider the words of Jesus from Matthew 5:10 and 12. And he made a profounding statement. One thing about Christ, when he makes a statement, especially as things were happening then all the way to now, it pinpoints the exact specific details, 100% accuracy. But he stated in these words, "Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me." And notice that key word, because of the case of Christ. No other reason. Aided and sponsored by Satan himself. Again, verse 12 tells us, "Rejoice and be glad, because great is your reward in heaven." So these are indeed remarkable words that Christ spoke. And until then, may the peace of God be with you all, my beloved. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching OV Ministries, and for more information or questions, you can find us on Facebook, YouTube, or Rumble at OV Ministries, or you can email us at ovm12343@gmail.com. We thank you again, and have a blessed day.